0, 1. Let's get started.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Black and White United show. I'm your host Andreas. Thank you so much for tuning in with me this morning. We're going to review the game against Carlton last night at the MCG. What a great win by the Pies. Still think there's a lot of improvement to be made, but we'll get straight into it. Okay, so there's many things that we could talk about this game, many moments in the game where we thought we were struggling. There was moments where we had absolute complete control. The biggest thing that I thought was, I'll start with the negative, even though we won, because I'm a realist and I see all parts. Carlton dragged us down to their style of play. Carlton dragged us to that one-on-one crash bash contested footy. Yes, the weather obviously had a massive impact in that as well, as it was slippery. It was basically wet weather footy the entire night, but that suited their game style more, and it disallowed us to really break free for, what I thought would have been 85 to 90% of the game. I thought probably for 75 to 80% of the game we're actually playing their style of football and playing the game not on their terms, but the way that they play the game. The positive side is we beat them at their own game. Like, we beat them doing what they wanted us to try and do, I suppose. We just completely played them off the park. The end result of that game did them so much justice, only being 17 points. I genuinely feel that we should have won that game. Look, I said all week, 24 points. We were 24 points up with a minute to go, and then they obviously kicked that goal, and there was some behinds here and there, and then we ended up winning by 17. That game was supposed to be, or it should have been, a 35 to 40 point win. The first half, I don't like giving them credit, but the first half, they obviously, I wouldn't say on top, but it was very much a 50-50 contest. And then pretty much in the second half, that first 10 minutes of the third quarter, Nick Dacos just tore it up. Pendlebury was fantastic. Perryman was fantastic. Lockie Schultz, I'm going to say this now, and I'll probably post a video on this. I don't know. I'll think about it. But I'm going to say it in this review. We need now, not just Collingwood supporters, but everybody who doesn't follow Collingwood especially, put the argument to bed about getting Schultz and losing Ginnivan. Ginnivan is a crafty forward who hangs off the back of the pack and gets the cherry-picking goals. He did it for us. He's doing it for Hawthorn, and he's been exposed now at the Hawthorn Football Club because Watson, the wizard, is a gun small forward. So you can see Ginnivan isn't having the impact that people thought that he would. He's all right, but he's not having that major impact. Lockie Schultz is a win-win for this football club in every facet of his game. His tackling pressure inside 50, his desire to win the ball, and also his impact in the scoreboard. Yes, as a team, we are missing goals that we have. We did it against the Dogs. We did it against GWS in round one. We haven't kicked straight since we played that practice game against Richmond. And we did it against Carlton last night. We need to learn to kick a goal 30 metres out, directly in front, and Lockie Schultz is in that category as well. With that being said, though, he performs and he still hits the scoreboard. He kicks goals, intercept marking in the forward line, just a whole bunch of different things. He is my main focus, and there's another player I'll talk about as well, but he is my main focus on this video. His tackling pressure, I'll give a comparison to the Collingwood fans of, in their 30s like me, and older, the ones that really saw it. But that 07 and 08 season, when we recruited Paul Medhurst to Collingwood, when Chris Tarrant left, we got pick 8 in the draft and Paul Medhurst, and we ended up drafting Ben Reid and got Medhurst, which was fantastic. And just a side note, Medhurst then retires, and then Chris Tarrant comes back in, so we won that trade perfectly fine. There's a flashback for you. But when Medhurst had the ball, he would damage the score. He would put scoreboard pressure onto the opposition. Schultz is doing the same. He's starting to come into it even more now. But the other good thing is he's got the tackling pressure and the manic pressure around the forward line that Paul Medhurst had. It's almost, in my eyes, I could be wrong, and people can leave their comments and say what they want, but I genuinely believe he is a reincarnation. He is the carbon copy of what we had in that 07, 08, and even 09 season with Paul Medhurst. And it is suiting us to a T. We've got the big forwards. We've got all this stuff. We've got Jamie Elliott, clutch. We've got Bobby Hill, Norm Smith medalist, does all the miraculous things, which he does need to lift too. Like I'm being realist about this too. He had a couple good plays, set up a Membry's goal in the third quarter from the boundary line. Great. But Lockie Schultz's play in this game was second to none, and it's just something that we need to all admire. The next player I really want to talk about too is Beau McCreary. I thought this game would have been a game made for Beau McCreary simply because of the way that Carlton play their football. I've said it a million times, the way they play that stupid labour-intensive, contested play. They don't spread, they don't do whatever. I thought that would have suited Beau McCreary's style to absolutely smash the pack and do whatever. I thought in patches he was okay. He did a few good things throughout the night, but I would like to see Beau impact the scoreboard more and take his disposal count to 15 and over a game and really be at that damaging level. Be at that Degoe level. There's no reason why he can't be that. I thought this game was made for him, and I really want to see him lift. And over the next few weeks, with Ned Long coming in also and doing what he did as a sub, and coming in and making that impact. And McRae said, and I was saying to my mates at the end of the game, and I met my dad afterwards after the game, and I said the same thing to him. Ned Long can't be sub. He's too good to be a sub. He's either in the team or he's out of the team. It's as simple as that. There's no in between. There's no substitute. For gather round, right? I know we're talking about the Carlton game, but just for gather round, you're either going to put Jordan Degoe as the sub, Beau McCreary as the sub, or go back and put Pendles as the sub. They're the three. Now, obviously, we're probably not going to have Houston. Love Dane Houston. He was fantastic last night, but dumb move. It's just, you've just come off, and I'm a realist, and everyone who watches my videos needs to know, and I'll talk about negatives, I'll talk about positives, but I just think it's dumb what he did. I know he probably didn't mean to do that or whatever it is, but you've just come off a 5-week suspension. You missed out on playing finals last year for your old club, right? And you missed the first game for us, which we desperately needed. You're not saying we would have beaten GWS, but it would have changed the whole complexion of our backline. You've come in, you've made an immediate impact. You didn't even have a good game against the Dogs, but you still had an impact. And you've had a fantastic game against Carlton, and you're probably going to get rubbed out now, and I'm being generous. You're going to get rubbed out for 2 weeks. Are you that desperate not to go back to Adelaide? I don't understand. But it is what it is. He played great last night. Carlton fans would be spewing. I mean, I'm not even going to get to that. I'm not even going to get to that irrelevant football club now. And I've been on shows and stuff like that, Carlton shows, Collingwood shows, and I've spoken to people and stuff, and I've bit my tongue, and I've put my football lover hat on, not so much my Collingwood hat, and I've tried to explain to people a realistic point of view of what I think of these games and these clubs and these teams and God knows what. Done. I'm done. We are so much better than them. We are better than them with history, facts, everything. Okay? I'm sick and tired of being spoken to by fans of opposition clubs, especially Carlton, and almost being bullied in a sense. And mind you, I don't care. Say what you want. But history now talks. We've got the same amount of flags, 134 wins head-to-head to 128 or 29. That's like 2 or 3 years worth, if we play 2 games in a year or finals, 2 or 3 years worth of games in front of them for them to catch up to us. And they're not going to win a flag. They're not going to win a flag anytime soon the way that they're playing. We're much closer. Fucking North Melbourne are closer than them. So don't put up with the shit that they give you or whatever they're saying. Embrace the fact we are a better football club on the field, off the field, everything. Last night, the scoreboard flattered them. Last night, the scoreboard said that they were in the contest the entire game with a 17-point win. It should have been 40, and that's on us. That's on us to fix our goal kicking, to take those opportunities. Yes, there was weather. Yes, the game style was shit. in the last quarter, it was basically just both teams, after Ned Long scored that great goal, it was both teams parking the bus, and it was just ping pong between the halfbacks and this, that, whatever. Who cares? That 10-minute period in the third quarter, we shut them up and we played the game on our style. Nick Dacos went to next levels. I thought Harry Perryman was great, underrated, should have hit the scoreboard more. Again, another player that should have hit the scoreboard a bit more, but all in all, it was a good performance. There wasn't anybody who I thought had an absolute shocker. Billy Frampton's first half of football was worrying, but then, and it's not a good thing, but as we got better, he obviously got better throughout the game as well. So many things to talk about, many things to consider, but leading into the game against Sydney in Adelaide, we're not going to have Dan Houston. I think probably if Markov's calf is okay, Markov comes in, or potentially a Hoskin Elliott to play off the half back line. But we'll get into that when we know what's going on with the preview of next week's game. But for now, let's just enjoy this moment. Thursday night footy, I'm not a fan of. I'm not going to lie. Don't like it. Got to work the next day. I'm working from home. I'm a bit tired. I didn't get home till late, blah, blah, blah. But it had an elimination final feel about it. This game had an elimination final feel when you were walking in, talking to my mates. I met with Ant from Pies Footy as well. Great bloke. Had a chat. Spoke to heaps of people. Thank you to all the people that came up and said they wanted photos or wanted to have a chat with me and stuff like that. It's not necessary, but thank you. It was great. Everybody was a bit nervous at the start of this game because we know Collingwood, Carlton, things change, and whatever. I'm getting really animated doing this review because I'm just sick of the crap that we've copped. This football club that we played against have scarred my childhood pretty much following footy, traumatized my old man's generation with the bullshit grand finals that they won, and then now seeing them the way they are, and that's another point I want to make. So I know I'm waffling on, but guess what? We're all family. We're all Pies fans. We're going to listen to me. They talk about the 2023 season for them more than we do. They talk about their premiership window. They talk about, we had this run in 2023, blah, blah, blah. Really? You want to talk about the run you had in 2023? Let's talk about the run we had in 2022. Oh, and the flag that we won in 23 as well. But no, let's talk about the little period and your premiership window, which was for a half of football against Brisbane, and then someone shut the bed. Just come off it. Come off it. You're not living rent-free in our heads. You're just annoying. You're an annoying football club. Everything's irrelevant now. I'm sorry. We are a much better team, and they need to start admitting it and whatever. But it had an elimination final feel about this game. It had, we had to win to go 3-1, leading into the next few games, which are going to be, they're not going to be easy. Sydney, Brisbane, Essendon, Anzac Day, we should get over the line. Who knows then? But they become world beaters on Anzac Day too. And then obviously Geelong afterwards. So out of those 4 games, if we can get 3 out of the 4, realistically, that's great. Even 2 of the 4 is a decent effort as well. But we need to capitalise now because we're going to have a good run in the middle of the season. But this game was so important for us to win. And we did it. I'm not going to say comfortably because the first half was a bit shaky. We only played really good footy for 10, 15 minutes of that game. And then we just battled it out. And I'm going to use the excuse of the weather. I'm going to give the boys the benefit of the doubt. But what I'm not giving the benefit of the doubt is for this game is our goal kicking. We need to hit the scoreboard harder. We need, there was a time where, they kicked it. I don't even know who kicked it. I didn't pay attention to their players, but they've gone to switch the play, and they can't. They can't switch play. They've gone to switch the play, and we've marked it directly in front of goal, 35, 40 metres out. Bro, I played at Roxburgh Park thirds last year, and I was kicking goals from 50 out. Come on, man. Drill it. And if you don't believe me, I've got the video footage to show it as well, so don't... But...
Huh? Yeah, make elbows.
Who's that?
You got it.
You can be able to you should be able to kick that. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going to leave it there because I'm going to talk about this forever and I've got to get back to work. But what a win. It's just Thursday night footy. Not so much of a fan, but how good is it that we can go the whole weekend now knowing that we can watch a replay? I even don't watch replay because half the game was boring anyway. But that 10-minute period, just that third quarter was fantastic. We need to sort of play a bit more four-quarter footy still. But it's games like that, and I'll leave it on this note. There's games like that against Carlton, and there'll be games like this against other teams that happen where we really need to put our foot down like we did against Port. I know the conditions were different. I know the game styles of the opposition were different, but there's just these moments that I wish we just put the foot down a little bit more and really stamp our authority on the game and on the competition, because we're not far off. We are not far off breaking this thing so far open. And I know the opposition wasn't the greatest, again, like it wasn't against Port Adelaide, but we need to ourselves raise our standards as a club. And these are the games that you want to, bury aside. With that being said, if you had told me at the start of the game, we're going to beat Carlton by 17 points, I would have run off into the sunset perfectly. So take it as you will. Anyway, guys, drop a comment. Tell me what you think. Make sure you call it as you see it. And as always, go the Pies.